Hey guys, Blake with B&B Family Farm. Today I wanted to share our experience so far with raising chickens and show you our chicken coops. This is Chicken Coop 1.0. This is the first chicken coop I've ever built, and Brittany and I kind of reached a boiling point. We really wanted to raise chickens, and chicken coops at the stores were just so expensive. Minimum investment was going to be $300 plus the cost of the chickens, the feed, and all the material it takes to start that up. Anyway, we just didn't have the resources to go to the supermarket or to the stores, and so I walked around our property and I just found a bunch of material that I could use, and I even found a bucket of old nails. And so this whole coop was done completely from recycled materials around the land. Once this was built, Brittany and I were ready to go get our chickens, and we started off with Trixie and Georgia, two Americana birds. We were really anxious to get some layers, so we went ahead and bought some mature birds, and we were told by the farmer that sold us these birds that it would take up to 2 weeks for them to start laying for us after the move, because it would shock them. Anyway, it didn't take 2 weeks. It actually took just that night. The first night they were here, the next morning we woke up to 2 blue eggs. And it was a really exciting experience that really kind of pumped me into building something more for them, which was Chicken Coop 2.0, which we're gonna move on to. This is Chicken Coop 2.0. The second those birds laid eggs for me, I knew that I was hooked, and I wanted to provide something a little bit better for them, and I knew I wanted more birds. We found a trucking company online on Craigslist that was giving away a bunch of pallets, and they showed up one day with a 31-foot long trailer of 8-foot by 4-foot pallets. And honestly, I was a little overwhelmed when that guy showed up. I had no idea how many pallets he was bringing to me. I started building this, and originally it was just going to be this lower part, and I was going to have something about this size, the size of the old chicken coop, connected to it, and this was going to be the yard. I looked over to the amount of wood that I had available to me, and I was like, no way, I've got to build bigger than that. So I did. I built the base of this, and it looked cool, it looked great, and I was like, man, I'm a tall guy, I don't want to have to bend over to manage these birds. This is my structure, let's go crazy with it. This was one of the first things that I had built, so I didn't have a plan, I was just kind of going. But I've learned so much from this chicken coop, and I've learned so much from the birds that we have. Like I said, we started off with Trixie and Georgia. We're up to 16 birds now with 2 roosters. And there's just so much that I've learned and like to share with you. One of the first things that I would like to change, there's a lot of things I want to change about this. This is not an energy efficient structure for these birds. I built this in August, so I wasn't thinking about winter. This entire thing just allows air to come through and go up. Of course, they're birds, they're used to that stuff, but I want to take care of them. I want to provide them a place to chill, and if they want to go outside, they can. But anyway, I would want to change the housing structure to be fully enclosed, so I'm not allowing air to just travel through their home. Secondly, I put a floor upstairs, which is just a big shit collector. It collects poop all day long, and I'm changing that as well in the next design. I did take out a floor panel though below one of their main perches, which has allowed the poop to just fall down to the ground, but now it's falling on top of my little cage and onto the stairs. So I need to change where the stairs are, I need to change where the perches are. There's a lot of things I'm going to change in Chicken Coop 3.0. In the back, I did build special beds that are very tall, that unfortunately my wife can't get to easily. She'll need a step stool, but it's where we collect our eggs, and it's easy for me to get to. I don't have to bend over. Birds seem to really enjoy it. And right now, though, we've only got 2 birds laying out of our 16, so we're not getting that much production. Up here, in this window, I had planned on this being to open, but I don't think I'm going to add any more to this structure. I think it's more cooler looking than it is functional. But up here, I built a perch for the birds that was an afterthought. It's something I didn't plan on doing. I was just like, hey, let's put a perch for these birds, and it turns out to be the best thing I could have done. every single one of them loves sitting up there. They sit in there and chill. That's where they sleep at night, and they get to look down onto the world. It's pretty cool. This little guy right here was another kind of an accidental thing that I found that I really enjoy having. When we're moving our smaller birds over from the pullet cage to the larger cage, this little house gives the smaller birds a place to escape to. That happened completely by accident. I just decided to put it in there to give them something to sit on, and I noticed the small birds needed a place to escape because there's the whole pecking order. And the little guys just get to chill. I put a little door on the front so only the little guys can get in there, and I throw a little feed in there for them. I want to take this into consideration for Chicken Coops 3.0 because I really want my smaller birds to be able to go to different locations within the house so they can escape the fierceness of some angry birds from time to time. What else have I learned about this chicken coop? I feel like I've learned so much. I'm sure I'll edit in some more stuff later. But this has been a fun experience. Back to the recycled material. I did build this all out of pallets and recycled wood. So it cost us about $80 in material. That's screws, that's the chicken wire, and that's about it. That's it for the cost of this thing. And this would have cost us about $600 to $1,000 if we'd gone to a store, and I built it for $80. So I'm pretty proud of that, and I'm proud that I built it. You know, it sucks going to stores and just buying stuff and being so proud of that shit. But when you build something, even if it's not perfect, it's extraordinarily rewarding to do. And I'd really like to encourage people to just build stuff. Go get some free material and build stuff. We're going to move on to the experience of our little cage, which we use for pullets, and I want to talk about some of the things that we bought that I regret buying and how we plan on changing it. This is exactly what you think it is. It's an old dog crate we used to raise our pullets. We didn't try to raise from hatchlings. We didn't have a rooster when we started off with our 2 birds. We just didn't have the facilities for it. But this worked very well. We raised 18 birds. We lost 2. We went out of town for a weekend and came back, and 2 birds mysteriously disappeared. But anyway, we raised 18 birds out of this guy. Every single one of them survived. It's very simple. I gave them a little place to sit. They've got water and food. I want to point this thing out, the feeder. I think we paid $4 or $5 for this. But this was absolutely worthless. I'm very disappointed in this purchase. They go in and empty this almost as if it's their job. You fill this thing up, give them 10 minutes, it's all over the place. This thing is absolutely pointless. I'm working on several different ways to feed the birds. I've been watching their necks and how they can stretch, and they don't care where they shit, they don't care where they eat, they don't care about any of that stuff. So I'm really working on a way to keep them from making such a mess and really wasting so much food. Like half of this is, there's a lot of old shit and stuff that I haven't cleaned out yet, but half of that is feed. It's so wasteful. They're very wasteful animals if you're not paying attention to what they're doing. So I definitely wouldn't mess with that. I'm looking into a tubular type feeding system where they can stand on top of it and they kind of have to stick their necks up underneath it to get to that food. And they can shake all they want and that food won't come out of that tube like it does this. It's pointless. It's a waste of money. The watering system, this was neat. It did collect a lot of algae, so it required a lot of maintenance. Same with the other bigger one. That one didn't collect as much algae, so it didn't require so much cleaning. But a tubular system with these little feeders is our next step with our birds. Either way, this was yet another free item that we use to help start raising our chickens. It's another exciting item. It's not pretty, but it was functional. It did what it needed to do. We've got 16 healthy birds, and I couldn't be happier with it.